Yeah, so just here, just do a little video. Arrived at a little farm in Norfolk with bloke Matthew Hicks doing up a little Gleaner combine. I've seen a lot of it on the Gleaner group on Facebook. We were here today, just a drop off belt actually, a traction belt. But there's the old girl. Seen her quite a lot, doing quite an in-depth work on the machine. It actually looked quite a smart one on the. When I see the photos of it, it's actually a very tidy machine. Actually, looking at it now close up, you know, this is the belt I bought him one of these. In fact, the one on it's not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, but yeah, very tidy machine. He's going through it. He's doing a lot of really in-depth like jobs on the machine, intricate parts, stuff. The way I like to do them, we keep it in original condition. You know, with the original paintwork, but they're making it as nice as possible. It's a really nice way of doing it, I find. But so this is obviously a square, very early square back, and the way I know that is because the drive lines are the same as, so my humpback, this and my humpback are basically exactly the same combine. Everything's the same, apart from the shape of the back. That's the only difference. So yeah, the shape of the back there. Just turn the thing off. So the on the later Super A's, so square backs Super A's, the sort of like after not very many machines at all, this Raddle was driven from here. There was an extra sprocket on here that drove to there, and that took the pressure off of this drive here. So there's a chain that does all of this, one big chain that goes around all this, and it's just one less thing for this chain on here to drive. So the drive was driven from that side. Plus, most Super A's actually had a 3-speed box, but this has got a 4-speed like my one has. But they are a lovely combine. See, he's took the feeder beater out. Something I've never bothered doing. Oh, do you know what I just noticed there? If you look there, I noticed the drum has actually been turned round. So there's only ever been a couple of these that I have ever seen turned round. The drums turned round before I got to them. It's most of the combines I've ever got, the Gleaners I've ever got, the drum, because obviously can be turned round, and they've invariably never been done. So I always do it. But interestingly enough, I've got a combine just like this. Exactly the same shape, exactly the same layout, 4-speed box, square back, drive line, Raddle driven from this side, and in fact that was the only other one I've ever seen with the drum turned around like this one is. Yeah, so there you go. Sorry about chewing gum, I didn't even think about it. Bit annoying, but but yeah, just enjoy the combine. Look. C Reg 1966. Very tidy back end. Look, coat of arms.
Sorry, near Jeremy.
No, well, yeah.
He
My friend's good friends with Caleb.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's hoping to. I'll be cutting Caleb's corn this year, possibly.
Yeah.
My friend's been given the possibility to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening yet.
Yeah, well, it's good series.
Look at this nice tractor as well. Got a same engine that goes in a that's the same engine that goes in a Ransom's 1001. Awesome. Right, catch you in a minute. Yeah, maximum recording time reached, so I had to just delete a couple of videos, but just obviously looking at the combine, but just this baler's here. It's a John Deere baler under a sheet, but I think you'll appreciate. Nice whole thing. I'd love to get a baler one day, but obviously, you know, it's just a matter of time. Another experiment, I think, to do. I've got enough on my plate, but I think I will do it at some point. I fancy a Jones baler. I think, for practicality's sake, Jones, like a bigger Jones, like a 14T or something like that, which is quite a capable baler. As much as I'd like to have a Massey Harris, I want one that's going to, although Massey Harris will do the job, I want one that's really going to maybe put a shift in, you know, and a Jones 14T, I think that's what they're called, would be quite a good machine. Or the Alice Chalmers version of it, which I think is the 707. Yeah, unfortunately you can't see it, but you can see it's pretty tidy. Yeah, it'd be a very interesting thing to see working. So this is the header off the combine. All the wood's still good. So hopefully come down here at some point and see it working. Hopefully this summer as it's Gleaner 100. Yeah, good. Right, catch you in a minute. Generally, yeah, I think when a combine reaches a certain age, they just get used, don't they? And if they know the end's in sight for a machine, then they don't bother. You don't do a full service on it and then park it up, do you? You use it until eventually it gives up and then you get something else. But obviously you don't want them giving up in harvest, do you?
No.
So obviously somebody's done a quick fix on that when it's nearly it almost cut it right in half.
Yeah. But that'll get done. We'll find a way of doing it.
Yeah.
It's been made.
So
Yeah, for the sit, for the shaker.
done a very good job of redoing this. Obviously the UJ for the unloading auger. Obviously difficult to get hold of these, and obviously the inserts for these are not basically available anymore, not freely available. So the chaps had it machined out and had, you know, local agricultural shop has provided him with the nearest fitting, and obviously wasn't a perfect fit, but he's had it altered, like engineered to fit these different bearings, so that it's all nice and, you know, free playing, good enough to work again for a good number of years, you know. And so yeah, there you go. So in future he can just change that, not that he probably ever need to, but yeah, good job. He's also had the had a new bottom put back on it. What this is grain tank.
Right, okay.
So that sits, that's the bottom, and it sits on top of the combine. As the combine's going along, all the, you know, when we were driving that combine in the summer, and what was behind us, that's the hopper that collects all the grain, and then that's where the unloading comes out. You know, the tube that empties into the trailer. That's what that is.
Right, yeah, I remember it now. Looking back, I see it.
Yeah. But obviously the bottom's right out, because what happens here is all the trash that sits in the bottom, and with my combines, after the harvest, if I use them, the end of every year, I'll empty it out, and then I'll hoover it, or I'll hoover the grain out the bottom, or hand it out, because obviously the grain sits in the bottom, rots away, gets wet, and it rots holes in the bottom. And it's one of the places that I always clean. I mean, I always clean the combines out at the end of every harvest, and then put a load of oil in there, and it sort of protects it, so that it just lasts longer, you know. But obviously this one has just succumbed to basically conditions, and they obviously just needed to fit a new panel in there. And he's screwed it in rather than riveting it in, which is something that I've done before actually on my combines. Put little screws in there with lockhead nuts on it. He's obviously having these made as well. I sent him a couple of patterns. They look a pretty good job, to be honest. It's a time-consuming job for definite. Are these the sides out of the inside? Are they? Yeah. Oh, got a bit of dirt on them. That's obviously your shaker shoe. Lovely old tractor as well, isn't it? But yeah, that's that. So cushy little number. Hopefully see this one working. Hopefully this summer, but we'll see. And yeah, Gleaner 100. Yeah, so hopefully if we can get hold of this guy, we're going to see another one in a little while. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see for that one. See if that happens, because I can't get hold of him at the minute, but we'll see. Right, catch up with you later. I've sold a combine. I sold my Clayson. So on Monday that's going onto a lorry. So tomorrow I'll break the golden rule, working Sunday. So I've got to go and change the tyre, put the tyre on the original rim, the new tyre on the original rim. Tomorrow, I don't normally work Sundays, but we got to get it out of here on Monday. The bloke wants it. So yeah, good. A lot of work to do, but steady and keep positive. That's the only way, and it'll all work out in the end. Right, catch you later.
The sleeves just went. The splines, all that was all gone. So when that slipped, there's a big bang.
Right.
Yeah. That's all tight now. Another month that'll be out, I reckon.
That'll be the next start of the high note.
Did you buy this one restored, or you do that?
No, Dad done that.
Oh, okay, very good.
That was on a pig farm, on a scraper.
Oh, right.
And that's the bottom, I think the bottom got walnut, that dent. The clutch and brake pads like that, worn it shaved with. And so we took that up.
Yeah.
It's a really big nick.
That's not looking so good now.
No, I could use that for that. Yeah. I don't sit there. I've seen it
Pristine condition there a year or two back.
Yeah.
To me, it looks pristine. I've got like a different standard. Those prestige are really.
Do all the grass cutting,
Apparently these were very popular tractors. I remember listening, I was at a tractor club thing, like a little event, and a bloke come and speak it. They had like a bloke speaking for the night, and he was showing slides from when he worked at a Massey dealership. And when these come out, obviously you had the Massey 35 previous to that, but then when this come out, these 135s especially, they just sold so well. They were, you know, everybody wanted one. When you think really, I mean, these sort of old tractors, this sort of period of tractors up to sort of like the mid-80s, to me is like the golden era of tractors, really. I don't really like the modern ones, but if you look at them now, I mean, when you think that was like your go-to thing, you know, and the size of it, and you see the size of these JCBs and stuff now, and it's just a totally different world. But I still so much prefer these. I know you can't do the same work with them, but it's just, they're so much nicer